you ever sit down to write some content and your brain is completely empty? Me too. But AI can help. I'm about to show you 7 super simple AI brainstorming hacks that will give you unlimited content ideas in just minutes. And if AI sounds confusing, don't worry, I'll make it easy for you. The first tip is a smart starting point. Most people ask AI for ideas the wrong way. If you use this as a prompt, give me ideas about marketing, you'll get a very generic list of ideas that everyone else gets. I'm just going to show you what it looks like. So the prompt is going to be, give me 5 ideas about marketing. And you can see the output is fairly generic. If you use a more specific prompt, let's see what it comes up with. We're going to ask it to generate 10 unexpected content ideas about marketing that most people overlook. So you can already see that this is much better. The psychology behind ads, unpopular opinions, behind the scenes. So this is not super original, and that's why if you're not happy with this, then obviously you can dig deeper. Now we're going to ask it to generate some controversial topics or things that would spark debate, and let's compare the output of that. So we can see it's offering some ideas about the customer is not always right. Most influencer marketing is just dishonest advertising in disguise. So these are some controversial statements, not necessarily what you would choose to write about, but just something to give you a unique angle so that you can make your content less generic. Related to this is my second tip. By the way, if you're new here, I'm Aga. I share my top tips on content, AI, and productivity. So if you're a content creator, marketer, communications professional, or an entrepreneur, then this channel is for you. Hit the subscribe button and let's move on to tip number 2, which is identify missing pieces in existing content. So there are obviously ethical considerations about using AI to create content. So this AI brainstorming hack is all about finding a popular article about something that you're writing about. Then put it into ChatGPT or another AI tool and ask it one of these questions. What's the missing piece that this article doesn't cover? Or how can I put a unique spin on this topic? So I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So I'm just pasting an article that I wrote a few years ago about why startup founders should learn foreign languages. And I'm going to follow it up with a prompt to ask it about the missing piece that this article didn't cover. So I'm just trying to identify some gaps in my thinking at the time. And let's see what it comes up with. So this is the output. So you can see it focused on cultural intelligence and innovation. It's given me some ideas that I haven't considered before. It is also even asking me whether I would like a short summary of the full article with the missing point added. So you can already see that this brainstorming technique saves you so much time already. And then I'm going to ask it a different question about this article, which is, how can I put a unique spin on this topic? And here's what it comes up with. Flip the narrative. What happens if you don't? That's really interesting. Use case studies from unexpected places. Yeah, that sounds good, but this is actually my favorite one. Add a twist with AI. Why founders still need to learn languages in the age of AI. And when I wrote this article, AI wasn't a thing. So this is an interesting take. I can create a unique angle for a new piece of content that actually references the current context with AI being part of it. The next tip is similar. It's about recycling existing ideas into new ones. Most topics have been done to death, but that doesn't mean you can't make them fresh. So try these prompts. Take the topic of nutrition and give me 5 unique angles nobody talks about. List the biggest myths about personal finance and flip them into fresh content ideas. Give me a list of 5 common mistakes in time management that aren't widely known or talked about. So let's see what I mean by that. So I'm asking ChatGPT to give me 5 common mistakes in time management that aren't widely known or discussed. it is giving me some suggestions about treating all tasks with equal mental weight, over planning, relying too much on motivation, confusing activity with progress, and not scheduling recovery time. So this still sounds quite generic. You don't have to stop there. You can go even further. So I'm going to add a follow-up prompt to make it even more unique and to get some more original ideas. So I'm going to say, now give me some more unique and less common ideas linked to this topic. Okay, I can already see that the output is much better. So it's talking about micro boundaries, about auditing your attention, not just your time, using anti-goals, creating a friction map. So again, it's using terminology that is not often encountered in this type of content, which is already giving us a more unique angle than the previous version we looked at. So you're asking the AI for unique, less known, and more original ideas. Related to this is my next tip, which I'm going to call the devil's advocate hack. So this AI brainstorming hack is all about finding ideas that are slightly surprising or even a little bit wrong. So find something that everyone agrees on in your topic and then ask ChatGPT or another AI tool to argue the opposite. For example, a lot of people say that you should eat 5 small meals a day. But you can ask AI to come up with reasons why that would be a bad idea as opposed to eating 3 big meals every day. So let's put this prompt into ChatGPT and see what it comes up with. So why might eating 5 meals a day instead of 3 be bad for you? So it mentions things like insulin spikes, hunger increasing, digestive overload. So obviously these are things that you will need to double check to make sure that they're correct. And the point is not to create controversy or fake news or anything like that. The point is just to give you some ideas about things that you would not normally consider. And then you might choose to include them, you might not, but do your research and make sure it's right. The next AI brainstorming tip is mix and match. So this hack is all about combining 2 things that are seemingly unrelated to each other and asking ChatGPT or another AI tool to find an association between them. For example, gardening and video games. There's not much they have in common, but when you ask ChatGPT about it, it will find connections between those topics. So you might ask it, how can gardening be like a video game? And it might suggest ideas like leveling up your garden, earning rewards for growing vegetables, or even a video game about gardening. So it's all about finding new and unexpected angles. The next hack is to generate questions instead of answers. So most people, when they're starting out with ChatGPT or another AI tool, they tend to ask for answers. For example, give me 10 ideas on living well after 60. But what you can do instead is to ask it for questions. For example, so we're going to ask ChatGPT to come up with 10 thought-provoking questions about living well after 60. What does living well mean to me at this stage of life? How can I continue to cultivate meaning, joy, and purpose? What habits or beliefs no longer serve me? So again, you can see that this is much more specific and much more unique than what you would get if you just asked for 10 ideas about living well after 60. And then what you can do to go even further with this brainstorming process is take one of these questions and use some of the techniques that I discussed earlier in the video to explore it even further and to get some ideas about that specific question. I'm entering one of the questions and then I'm going to ask ChatGPT to come up with 5 ideas that are not widely known or discussed relating to this question. So here's the output. Curating emotional minimalism, embracing slow mastery, redefining time affluence. So you can already see that it's giving us additional ideas linked to that question, and then you can kind of redo it over and over again using one of the techniques to dig even deeper and create even more unique and nuanced content. My final AI brainstorming hack is to generate lists using multiple tools. AI is great at generating lists, and this is probably one of my favorite hacks, which I use in my business every single day. And it's basically about using 3 or more different chats or models. So you can use ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude, for example, to generate the same list. Each of these tools will give you a slightly different answer, a slightly different angle, so you can then compare the outputs and think about how you can synthesize this information or pick out the things that are the most relevant to the content you're working on. You can also use tools like po.com, which has a free version, and you can use it to access a number of different chats. So you can explore and experiment with different tools to see which ones you prefer and choose the combination of the ones that give you the best results. The great thing is there is no limit to your list. So you can ask ChatGPT for 10 items, but you could also ask it to generate a list of 1,000 things. So this is great, not just for brainstorming, but for batching your content, because you can generate multiple ideas ahead of time. If this video helped you, make sure you subscribe to my channel, leave me a comment and give it a like, and I'll see you next time. Bye.